Hello and welcome to Clicks and Classics with Sherlock Holmes The Awakened. Last time we had a wild chase and then got stopped by the police, who it seems is not very interested in us investigating here, but we will have to do that. In order to do that, we will go to the French district to the Arnesons was their name. So now let's jump back into first person mode, and I think from here on I can fast travel to the French district, which is our next destination. So let's do that. Looking pretty nice at the very least. What's going on there? Mysterious woman.
Ah, Watson, it seems we have arrived at the place. Look there, on the iron door.
Let's ring the bell. That's a
Looks
beautiful
like
house.
no one is here, Holmes.
It's a pity, Watson. This is our only lead.
A pity indeed. So what's with the woman? Gotcha.
Good morning, miss. Please don't be alarmed. We won't harm you, my dear. What is your name?
Eula, sir.
Lovely. When we arrived here, you were looking through this gate. This is the residence of Mr. Arneson, isn't it? Do you know him?
Yes, sir.
Do you know if he is at home?
Don't rightly know, sir.
What's going on?
Watson,
Come now, don't distress yourself like this. Why all these tears?
Because of my little brother, Davy. He serves with Mr. Arneson, and been more than 5 days since I heard from him.
perhaps he went on a trip with Mr. Arneson.
No, sir. Tain't likely. I serves at the Gallagher's just the other side of the road. If they had left, I would have seen them. Something bad has happened. I can feel it.
But if you were so near, surely your brother would have cried out for help if there had been any real danger.
No, sir. Davy, he ain't like you and me. He's right smart in some ways. But Davy can't talk. Not a word. Besides, most evenings, we visits and sees each other across the stable door. And been more than 5 days since he been there. Oh, sir. I be mighty scared. Something has happened to him. I just knows it.
Miss, take us to this stable. Watson, I think this place is indeed isolated, and therefore quite vulnerable.
Okay.
Can't be. I'm gonna go wait on the road. That way, if my mistress calls for me, I can hear.
Okay. So this is the stable entrance, I guess.
It is hardly secure, Watson. Regard the lock. It has a primitive wooden latch, which is also quite flimsy.
Can I do that with a knife? I can.
Bravo, Holmes.
Oh, there's a horse. Oh, what's with the horse?
Holmes, this horse is dying of thirst. Poor animal.
He has had no water for these past 5 days, Watson.
Unbearable.
Interesting. So, need to get some water for the horse.
This should prove useful.
What are those nails? Yeah.
He can barely move.
Don't think I have anything. No. Nothing to drink.
I hope this gate is not locked, because it appears quite formidable. Open!
Open. Nice. Let's look around though if there's anything else. Doesn't seem that way. Okay. That's quite the beautiful house.
Observe, Watson, these beautiful, well-tended flowers. Someone must care for them.
But did someone tend to the flowers but not to the horse? It seems like the front entrance. Let's look around. There's a raccoon. Gotcha.
Look, Holmes, a raccoon. Come here, you little rascal.
They won't allow us too close, Watson, though the little imps are rather inquisitive by nature.
Maybe we have to lure them out or so. What's this? What?
Another footstep. The hunt is on, Watson. Blood. However, given the small amounts, the wound should be superficial. Wait, this is interesting. There is a trace of mud here. Blood. However...
Okay.
Another footstep. Some footsteps or marks. Not clear enough to make out. Let's see if there are others. Some footsteps or marks. Not clear enough to make out. Let's see if there are others.
Wonder if I missed something, since usually these things disappear. Okay, now it is gone. So that leads this way.
Footsteps. Let's see. Watson, regard the traces in the soil. A body was dragged here recently. Undoubtedly, it was a man of great size. More
Okay.
traces of mud. A person wearing shoes thick with fresh mud entered the garden by this gate. They entered the house and then returned, dragging a body back along the way. This erased some signs of their former movements, but not entirely. Fortunately, I have a particular talent for tracing footsteps. A neglected art indeed.
In the artisan's garden, I found several elements which indicate that a person whose footwear was spattered with fresh muck entered the garden by the small gate, proceeded to the house entrance, then dragged a body back into the opposite direction and attempted to hide its traces. However, he did not dispose of all the muck and also left several light traces of blood.
Ah, Holmes!
We must turn back, Watson, or we shall be...
Oh, we shall be devoured? Okay, we don't want that. What is this?
This should prove useful.
Ooh, that's like an iron rod, metal rod, yeah.
This should prove useful.
Okay, then we have the lily. Okay.
Water.
Do I have... Okay, I don't have a container, but obviously I need that water to
This should prove useful.
give it to the horse. Then we have a bluebell. So we're collecting different flowers
This should prove useful.
for some reason. And a Peruvian lily. Okay. Guess that's all that is around the house. Let's see if we can enter.
Closed. Tight.
Okay. Maybe I have to enter from the back door. It could also be a window.
Closed. Tight.
Also closed. This one is open with the drag marks here.
What a wretched smell, Holmes.
Quite wretched, Watson. It is the foul stench of death. Blood!
So we have blood there. Okay, this is the kitchen, okay. Oop.
Watson, hold the basin. I think you know what to do with it.
Oh, now Watson has to give water to the horse. Okay. Let's do it. Let's grab some water.
Perfect.
Go to the horse. So we're splitting up. Always a great idea. doors. There we go.
Easy now, fellow. Drink up.
Oh, there's a hammer now.
What could this be doing?
That will probably be very useful. So, do I have to give this hammer now to Holmes? Maybe. Okay.
Here you are, Watson.
Very well done, Watson. Great. Okay, there are cockroaches.
Ah, it's a ham. What a delectable aroma. If only I were hungry.
Can I, like, slice something?
Ah, it's a ham. What a
Do I have... Can I do something with it? Nails?
Ah, it's a ham. What a
I don't know. Maybe, like, on a...
Ah, it's a ham. What a
Okay, fine. Can't do anything with the ham right now. Okay, so more rotten food, which makes sense. I mean, we're in New Orleans. Quite warm. And the house hasn't been tended to for several days.
Watson, what do you
Oh.
make of this?
What a horrific sight. It has lain here for at least a week.
On the contrary, Watson, once again you see but fail to observe. The warmth of the local climate and the exceptional humidity undoubtedly sped up the rate of decomposition. Based upon my calculations, the body has been here for 5 days.
By the way, that is one of my favorite quotes from the Sherlock Holmes novels. You see, but you fail to observe. Watson?
Interesting. The person who sat here was fond of cigars.
Okay.
Blood!
On the chandelier? Or candlestick, or what that is. So let's investigate, maybe.
Let's examine the hands. They are calloused, with traces of dirt under the nails. This would be the gardener, no doubt.
Okay. Anything else? I wonder.
Let's examine the hands. They are calloused, with traces of...
That it? Okay, seems that way. So it's the gardener here. We have... There we have something.
They killed the man who was sitting there, and the trail of blood begins here. So this would be the body they dragged through the gate. The person was struck with a sharp object as they entered. You can see the trail of blood that continues past the staircase.
Okay. We have here.
Papers were burned, and great care was taken to destroy everything of any value to our case. We will find nothing further in this place.
It's unfortunate. Interesting.
This must be
Paintings.
Arnson. He appears fond of cigars.
So it appears like someone entered, killed or at least knocked out Arneson. Killed definitely the gardener, and then abducted Arneson, maybe?
Champagne. Maybe this will satisfy that old man of the same name.
Oh, yeah.
This blood on the ground came from a deep wound.
More blood here. There's blood all over the place.
I cannot budge the handle. They must have lodged something behind it to hold fast the door. Shh, Watson, listen. Whoever you are, open up. We mean you no harm.
that might be the brother.
Open the door, for God's sake. It's a matter of life or death.
This is useless, Holmes.
Watson, your sensibility is appreciated. We shall come back later.
Okay.
These footsteps indicate a person of small stature, and the fact that they are so closely set suggests they made their way with great stealth.
Okay. Maybe a German elephant. They're small but ferocious and very sneaky. Aha. We have here.
Yes, there is something here.
Oh, maybe I can pry it open with the rod. There we go.
Yes, there is something here.
Or not, maybe with a hammer?
Yes, there is something here.
What? What else do I have? maybe the knife? Oh, had to use the knife. Oh, look at
A
that.
stone of small size, but of splendid color. It seems to have no flaws, and I doubt that it originated in the American continent.
So, ruby. Interesting.
These clothes belong to a servant, and judging from their size, he is a small man. Arnson, with his servant, no doubt.
Okay. Anything else here? Think that wraps it up for ground floor. Okay, what do we have here? Dear Mr. Arneson, it was a rare pleasure to encounter your extraordinarily altruistic attitude towards your employee, young Davy. Few would have made the effort to discover the truth of his affliction, and most would have discharged this boy from their services without hesitation. It is fortunate that Dr. Gallagher, who has expertise in these matters, is also your neighbor. Without his intervention, it is doubtful we would have been introduced, and then you would not have had the answers about this young man that you have been seeking. First, I will tell you that Davy's problems are psychological rather than physical, or you have already noticed. He hears and understands perfectly well. A medical examination also revealed that his vocal organs are unimpaired. The final diagnosis is that a psychological trauma or mental blockage is what prevents him from speaking. As for your anecdote concerning the coins and discovery of the incredible talent that this young man seems to have for figures, it reminds me of similar child prodigy cases. I have requested their files from my colleagues and hope to learn more. All I can say now is that your employee has a phenomenal memory for figures, and that an adapted teaching program could enable him to exploit this talent further and benefit his community. Best regards, Dr. Kopka? I don't know. So it seems like the Arneson guy was maybe a nice guy, like that he actually cared for his servant Davy and was trying to figure out why he was unable to talk. Then we have fauna and flora of Louisiana. Because the alligators are not the most fearsome predators according to visitors, all agree that mosquitoes are the worst enemy of man in Louisiana and in Darkest Dungeon. No one knows how many different varieties of mosquitoes haunt the surrounding swamps and lowlands, but the most common are hematophages. Attracted by mammals' body warmth, the smell of blood from wounds, or sweat, they can quickly swarm in clouds of several thousands and attack their target with the same effectiveness as a school of piranhas. Look, fauna and flora of the Amazon. Every year, they cause numerous deaths among cattle. Fortunately, death among people are rare. The natives shared with us some of their local recipes to avoid this plague. The most efficient and common method consists of applying some lemon juice. The aroma repels the menacing insects. The simple presence of a lemon tree in front of a window is enough to dissuade them from entering that place. A more audacious solution consists of carrying several toads on your person in a conspicuous manner. These amphibians are very effective. Okay. And there we have the raccoons. Though the behavior of the raccoon in Louisiana is very similar to his brother from the forest of the East Coast, there are a few differences. There are many unique predators of the of the raccoon in the wilds of Louisiana, notably certain kinds of aquatic snakes. Because of this, raccoons in this region take their meals in a nest usually placed in the branches of a tree or at any height which is easily approachable by the raccoon. Well known for its agility, but also out of easy reach of their enemies, carrion is a main part of their diet, particularly if speaking of a female with small kids. Her need for additional protein to sustain her milk production makes carrion a particularly good source of food.
Ah, a book on the fauna and flora of
So
Louisiana.
that's maybe how we use the ham to lure the raccoon. Fantastic Hunt Tales by D. Niles. He's probably in D. Niles. Or much more, of course, if it is an African swallow. But our most disturbing tale about wild creatures of the marshes and swamps comes from Louisiana, near the city of New Orleans. Frightening events have plagued the region in recent history. At the time this book was put to press, rumors about mysterious disappearances, discoveries of mutilated bodies, and a fearsome beast of the swamps continued to haunt the poorer quarters and dockyards of this city. Our story begins 15 years ago when a noted citizen of New Orleans contacted a world-renowned hunter known as Ward. This gentleman, who wishes to remain anonymous, retained Ward to track and kill a beast that was terrorizing his workers. These freedmen worked in his fishery and lived in infamous wooden shacks built along the outer banks of the swamp. Over the last year or more, there were mounting numbers of unexplained disappearances and deaths, which happened with alarming regularity, particularly at the high tide. His men reported finding the mutilated and half-eaten bodies of men floating out from the swamp, and even more alarming, young women had also been mysteriously disappearing. At first, he appealed to the local authorities, but was met with indifference. They blamed these incidents on his own hired men who lived beside the swamp. The local constabularies reasoned that the people originated in Africa, where sacrificial rites involving young virgins were common. As for the fate of the man found dead, they argued this was most certainly the work of alligators which filled the swamps. Our good citizen thought this highly unlikely, as the area was teeming with game. He knew from personal experience that alligators rarely attack humans when fish and natural food are readily available. He also rejected the notion that sacrificial rites were involved. Had that been the case, his men would have not asked for his help and could have handled the matter themselves. What was told, the workers usually disappeared while dredging for crawfish, probably. As far as was known, 12 girls had disappeared recently, and no less than 7 young men had been found dead. The workers now refused to enter the swamp, even to withdraw their gear. Adding to the tension were rumors of a grotesque and scaly silhouette seen by a fisherman in the distant fog. Ward was offered a large sum to hunt down the presumed beast and returned with it to the man's hired workers so that they could return to fishing for crawfish and forget about their complaints. Ward accepted the commission and cleaned his weapon and hired a local guide who knew the swamp. They left on a boat that very same day. For the next 2 weeks, they searched the swamp, leaving early in the morning and coming back late at night. One evening, Ward came back anxious and excited. He said they discovered a trail deep in the swamp. He and his guide heard something that initially sounded like singing, but in dreadful, guttural and discordant voices. Ward explained that it might have been the mating call of a bull alligator or some other large reptile. He promised to go there first thing in the morning and return with his head. They left at dawn, and later gunshots were heard from the depth of the swamp. The evening came and went, with no sign of Ward or his guide, nor were they seen the next day into the next weeks. However, the strange disappearance and deaths ended. People speculated that Ward, his guide, and the beast had killed each other in some ferocious battle. Then, some months later, an extraordinary thing occurred. A fisherman discovered what appeared to be a white man caught in quicksand. The man, upon The man, upon discovery, shouted with panic and attempted to escape. The fisherman was forced to stun him with an oar in order to bring him in. The man had moss, seaweed, and mud, all teeming with vermin covering his gaunt frame. His features were buried under a thick beard and wild tangled hair. Despite his appearing, which was barely human, some people claimed they recognized Ward's eagle eyes. He was also naked. His teeth were strangely sharpened, and his eyes were feverish and barely able to focus. Worst of all were the terrible, strange scars that covered his entire body. Their symmetry resembled the work of some deranged artist or madman. Though many thought the opposite, the authorities decided that Ward had inflicted these marks upon himself and locked him in a cell, saying he must surely be insane. After doctors examined him, he was officially judged to be mad and sent to the mental hospital in Baton Rouge. There he remained locked up until the end of his short life. He spent the last few months of his life there, eating only raw fish and screaming to all who could hear that they had saved him. He cried out that he was one with them, and he spoke to him in a dream, and his awakening was soon to come. Another historical tale, even more disturbing, comes to us from the British Moors, where White Rabbit...
This book has been read often. Tales of Fantastic Hunts by D. Niles.
Interesting. Very curious story. Probably connected to our case. What's this?
This metal tube is approximately 40 centimeters in length and 18 in diameter. It bears a small tag which reads, "This one without defect. My sincere apologies, E. Otis."
What the devil are you doing, Holmes?
Oh, maybe we can use that for like a raccoon trap or so. Oh no. In order to wind up this unique watch, you need to find the figures corresponding to those of the clock, according to the same logic. 2 digits are already marked to help you figure out what method to use. Good luck. Oh boy.
A newspaper from 5 days ago. Someone has torn the last page. Well, it seems Arnson tried his hand at a small riddle in this newspaper. How strange. He does not seem the type to take interest in mathematical conundrums.
Okay. What is this, though? That looks... Okay, nothing there. You have here... Oh, there we have lemons.
This should prove useful. Closed. Tight.
Closed. Probably can't break that open with the...
I cannot do this.
No. Okay. Maybe from another side.
Closed. Tight.
No. Okay. Probably need something else here. So let's see if I can put the ham in the tube or so.
Ah, it's a ham. What a delectable aroma. If only I...
Apparently not. Let's see. Outside. So the book said that the raccoons may be in somewhere in the tree or higher up. Just wonder if there's anything else here that I missed. Can also bring the bottle of champagne to the guy called Champagne. Maybe I can do something with the...
Closed. Tight.
Don't know which room this is, right?
Closed. Tight.
Oh. Okay. So the raccoon was here somewhere. Wonder if I could do something here. Doesn't seem that way. Maybe I can do something with the lemons and the mosquitoes.
Ah, Holmes!
We must turn back, Watson.
Apparently not. Interesting. Well, let's see. What if we leave here for now? Anything? Oh, now we have this.
Now it can't be used for anything.
What do we?
Now it can't be used for anything. Now it can't be used for anything.
Okay.
Now it can't be used for anything. Now it can't be used for
No,
anything.
that's not what I wanted to do.
Now it can't be used for anything.
Okay, not the flowers.
Now it can't be used for anything. Now it can't be used for anything. Now it can't be used for anything. Now it can't be used for anything.
What about the two?
Now it can't be used for anything.
Okay. It's something there. Can Horsey help us? Horsey, can you help us? Can you not? That's interesting though. What are we supposed to do with it? Do I have to combine these somehow? Let's go to Champagne and see.
Watson, we must inspect this place carefully and leave no stone unturned. We have little time.
Okay, so we can't. Let me. Maybe if I go back up on the balcony, since that was a thing. Oh, Jesus Christ, Watson. Scares me every single time. Is there anything else here I missed? Doesn't seem that way. It's also strange that there's nothing to do here. Like this big thing looks suspicious, but I guess not. Can we now talk to guy?
Whoever you are, open up. We mean you no harm. Oh,
This is useless.
Watson, your sensibility.
Anything else here that I can do? Like that I just can just stand on the corpse. As always, nice. Okay, nothing there. Anything here that I missed? Some food. Chicken, potatoes. I can't combine that
What a
with anything.
it's a ham. What? It's a ham. What a. It's a ham. What a it's a ham. What?
It's a ham. Hey. Oh, I think I didn't expect these.
What's this? Someone placed their hand near this footstep. Judging by the size of the fingers, it seems to be a youth. Why would they lean down here? Of course, to pick something up.
Okay, maybe that's the hint we need to talk to the boy behind the door? Right?
Whoever you are, open up.
This is useless,
Watson, your sensibility.
Can we... Oh no, do we have anything?
Whoever you are, open up.
This is useless.
Watson, your Whoever you are, open up.
This is useless.
Watson, your sensibility.
Yeah, that was... I missed that one, but didn't really help me any further. I'm going to open this. No. Wait to... I cannot open. Let's see.
Closed, tight.
Maybe I can do something from the window? No. Alright, I think I will leave it all for today. I will try out some things, and once I figure out how to continue, we will start the next episode. But thank you so much for watching today. We have a mysterious place to investigate. Find out what exactly happened here, if the boy is okay, the brother of the maid that we saw, and we have to follow obviously the person that abducted Mr. Arneson, or at least that is the theory for now. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Maybe even share the video if you liked. That all helps me out a bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with Clicks and Classics tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.